It was 2 days before Halloween. The engines were very excited. They enjoyed Sir Topham Hatt's firework display and the children dressing up in costumes. One night, they were listening to a story told by Edward. "There once was a ghost train who had an accident years and years ago," began Edward. "It was chugging along like it was lost. It was very scary. It went all through Soda at midnight and was never ever seen again. And no one ever noticed him." "Oh my, how scary!" cried the engine, shivering. Later, Sir Topham Hatt arrived. He had an important job for Percy. "Percy, you must deliver some flowers and bushes to Lower Tidbit Station. Then you have to collect naughty gnomes from the abandoned mine. Then you are to collect scrap from the smelter's yard tonight," he said. "But sir, do I have to?" asked Percy worriedly. "On Halloween?" "No worries," said Sir Topham Hatt. "You'll get a chance to see the fireworks." "For sure Percy will watch the fireworks, and he's a scaredy engine," said Thomas. "Those gnomes will gobble Percy up," said Gordon. "They'll even shrink you into the ground," said James crossly. "That's a lie," replied Percy, but he was scared a little. That night, Percy was chugging through midnight. He liked traveling that time. The rails were well and the signal light shone green. But up ahead, a broken cart of lime lay ahead. The farmer was calling for help. When Percy saw the cart, he shut his eyes tight. The cart was in pieces and lime flew everywhere. Soon he puffed to the signal box where Toby was waiting. "Look at Percy," said Percy's driver. "He's covered in lime. He looks like a ghost," said the signalman. "The engines will be scared of him." "Don't worry," said Percy. "I'll get clean and then I have to go to the abandoned mine." "Good," said the signalman. "Let's go, Percy," said his driver. Soon Percy was cleaned and he was off to the mine. He was very scared. "I hope nothing bad happens," said Percy. "I am not a scaredy engine." Percy hoped the signal at the junction would be green. He didn't want to stop next to the mine, but the signal was red. He had to stop. "Oh my!" cried Percy. "That looks very scary." The driver and fireman were talking inside Percy's cab. "If anything scary happens, we'll go get help," they said. "Be brave, Percy," said his driver. Then there was trouble. A tall chimney started sinking into the ground. "Oh my God!" shouted Percy's driver. "Let's get out of here!" Once the signal changed, Percy rushed off as fast as he could. Later in the sheds, Percy told Thomas about the disappearing chimney. "When I stopped at a red signal, the chimney sunk into the ground," he said. "Don't be silly," replied Thomas. "Buildings can't do that." "I hope you're right, Thomas," said Percy. Later that night, Percy was at the smelters collecting freight. Thomas decided to play a trick on Percy. "Look up," said Thomas. "There's a ghost." "It doesn't look like a ghost," replied Percy. Thomas was enjoying himself. He kept on being funny. "Look out for the ghosts," said Thomas. "Ghosts aren't real," said Percy. When Duck puffed over, he felt sorry for Percy. "What's wrong, Percy?" asked Duck. "Thomas says there's a ghost," said Percy. "Thomas was just teasing you," said Duck. "I hope you're right," said Percy. and he puffed away. Later, Percy delivered some flowers and bushes for Lower Tidmouth Station. "You've been doing very good work so far," said Sir Topham Hatt. "I'm very pleased with it. Now you must go collect the naughty gnomes." Percy told the Fat Controller what happened. "Don't worry," he said. "I'm sure it won't happen again." "Yes, sir," said Percy worriedly. "Let's go, Percy," said his driver. "If a second spooky thing happens, we'll tell Sir Topham Hatt." Percy was very frightened. When Percy arrived at the mine, he went into the siding and buffered up to the trucks. "This can't be happening on Halloween," said Percy. Then, another building at the old mine sank into the ground. "Not again!" yelled Percy's driver. "Bust my buffers!" cried Percy. He was so scared, he went forward and bumped the freight cars hard. The naughty gnomes fell out. "Naughty gnomes!" cried Percy. Percy rushed away as fast as he could all the way back to the station. Percy's driver told the Fat Controller about what they saw. "It's those scary gnomes!" cried Percy. "They want to eat me into pieces!" "Don't be silly," said Sir Topham Hatt. "It's just the buildings collapsing in mine shafts." "I did see them," said Percy crossly. "I understand and I know you did," said Sir Topham Hatt. "They are just garden gnomes." "Garden gnomes?" asked Percy. "Are you kidding me?" "Those are decorations for Lower Tidmouth Station. They bring good luck." Percy ran off to get them. He puffed through the night as fast as he could. "Must get the gnomes! Must get the gnomes!" panted Percy. When he arrived, he waited for another scary thing to happen, but nothing happened. The Fat Controller was right. The gnomes were not scary. Percy took the gnomes back to the station. At the station, it looked very pretty. "You did a great job, Percy," said the Fat Controller. "I'm very pleased with your work. Tonight, you can watch the fireworks." Percy was pleased. "Thank you, sir," he said. Later that night, while the fireworks were going on, Percy told Duck all about what happened. "I thought the gnomes were scary, but I was wrong," said Percy. "That's all right," replied Duck. "They were just decorations. You were mistaken." Percy and Duck joined all the other engines for the fireworks. "Where's Thomas?" asked Percy. "You missed the fireworks." "I don't know," said Duck, "but he must be watching them at Tidmouth's sheds." "That's likely," said Percy. "I'll go check to see if he's there." And he went to check for Thomas. And he was right. Thomas was there. "Hello, Thomas," said Percy. "Hello, Percy," replied Thomas. "What's the matter?" asked Percy. "I was chuffing through the scrapyard and I heard a big giant clog crunch next to me, and I ran away all the way back here because I thought he was going to destroy me." "I hope you're okay," said Percy. "I am," replied Thomas. Percy told his friend all about what happened at the mine. "Sorry to hear that," said Thomas. "That will never happen again," said Percy. "Let's watch the fireworks outside our shed." Thomas and Percy enjoyed the fireworks. They watched as they went up into the air. They knew it was a very nice Halloween.
Monsters everywhere, hiding in the trees, just behind the rocks, blowing in the breeze. Monsters everywhere, doing as they please. They try to scare you. Is your boiler getting colder as you slowly puff around? Must be brave, you must be bolder. It's no more than silly sounds. Monsters everywhere, hiding in the trees, just behind the rocks, blowing in the breeze. Monsters everywhere, doing as they please. They try to scare you.